Hello, welcome to Apocalypse Otaku. I'm your host, Shar, and I am here to give you your voice actor birthdays, your adult swim schedule, and I know this is unusual, but we're going to talk about DC, but it's also MCU related. And on that note, if you guys aren't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscription button, ring that bell, give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing, and also share us with your friends, your family, or people who just like it in general. You know, like what we're, like anime or the MCU or both. And on that note, we're going to start with the birthdays. Today is August the 3rd, and today is the man. It's his birthday, Mr. Travis Willingham. Or as he likes to call himself, Willing Blam. Happy birthday, Travis. I hope you have a happy birthday. I know you'll celebrate in style. And on that note, let's go to the story. Now, this one comes from Screen Rant again. Um, and like I said, it's DC related, but it's also MCU related. Man of Steel writer explains why DCEU failed to catch up with the MCU. Um, David S. Goyer, the writer of Man of Steel, offers an explanation why the DC extended universe has failed to catch up with the Marvel cinema with the MCU, basically. Launched in 2008, Marvel Studios released its first film, Iron Man. Yay! Putting its hopes of building an interconnected franchise on the backs of director Jon Favreau and Robert Downey Jr. Luckily, it became a hit that allowed them to continue growing the MCU for the known franchise that it is today. It's not perfect by all means, with several reoccurring criticisms throughout the Infinity Saga. However, due to the massive popularity that it now enjoys, almost every single studio is looking to emulate it. That includes Warner Brothers, who owns the DC properties, Marvel's comic book brand competitor. Their friendly rivalry, I wouldn't call it friendly, really. I mean, any company that tells you that you can't work for the other company, if you work for Marvel, you cannot work for DC. If you work for DC, you can't work for Marvel. Yeah, it goes both ways. Goes back to their days in print. Now that superheroes have successfully broken through the screens, they continue that dynamic with their movies. The DCEU started in 2013 via Man of Steel. They started so late. A year after Marvel Studios culminated Phase 1 with the Avengers. Instead of following its predecessor's suit, following on individual films, Warner Brothers fast tracked the development of their universe. but it was plagued with various issues such as production woes, particularly with the Justice League, as well as studios meddling. As the DCEU approaches its 10th anniversary in a couple of years, Goyer offers his 2 cents as to why, despite its best efforts, it was unable to catch up with the MCU. In a new interview with THR, he cites the consistent leadership over at Marvel Studios as as the reason for its steady growth, something that the DCEU has struggled with. The writer also wrote that MCU characters feel true to their comic book counterparts. And this is his quote from that article. Goyer said, I quote, I think that one of the issues that Marvel's had consistent leadership for the last 15 years or more, whereas DC hasn't. There have been all of these changes in different terms of who's running DC. That is fundamentally very hard. It's hard to make any headway when leadership is changing. One of the other things that's made Marvel incredibly successful is all of their adaptations are true to the source material. Ant-Man feels like Ant-Man. The Hulk feels like Hulk. They don't try to change things up. I would say try to hew closer to what was the original intent. So it's having a consistent universe, having consistent leadership, and staying true to the source material. End quote. While Goyer didn't name drop Kevin Feige, he's referring to the producer's leadership over at Marvel Studios. After working on other Marvel films in the 2000s, he was a major proponent to produce their own films, even when the company was bought by Disney. He remained hands-on with the franchise's creative side. It also helps that his small team of producers has mostly stuck through the years. Well, throughout the years. I'm sorry. Meanwhile, DCEU has struggled to find someone who can function the same way for them. Both former head honchos, Jeff Johns and John Berg, were embroiled in the Justice League controversy. Somehow, even its current president, Walter Hamada, has been involved in it. This doesn't mean that the DCEU has nothing good to offer. Goyer was mainly pointing out how the lack of overall direction from DC Films has derailed their plans to directly compete with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Warner Brothers has smash hits like Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Both franchises are set to continue in the universe, but perhaps the DC extended universe may be in a more stable state if there was clear and competent leadership from its executives. Wow. Okay, so. And it's giving a list of new films that are coming out. So coming out this year, of course, is Suicide Squad. And then The Batman in 2022. Wow, they have a lot of films coming out in 2022. The Flash in 2022. The Batman is supposed to come out in March 4th. The Flash is supposed to come out November 4th of 2022. DC League of Super Pets. Seriously. Super Pets. Yeah. If you want to go see it, it's May 20th, 2022. Then Black Adam on July 29th of 2022. Aquaman 2, December 16th of 2022. And then Shazam, Fury of the Gods, June 2nd of 2023. So they have a lot that's coming out next year. And just one movie coming out this year. But next year, they're going to be competing with the MCU because the MCU is going to be having 4 films coming out. It's either 4 or 5. So what do you guys think? I think he's right. Without proper leadership, you're not going to have a stable anything. If you don't have that proper leadership to tell people what to do, then you just are not going to have, they're not going to follow you. They're going to be like, oh, new guy. Okay. Anyway, on to the Adult Swim schedule for Tuesday, August the 3rd. Starting at 8 o'clock, we have Bob's Burgers. Followed by American Dad at 9 o'clock, and then Rick and Morty at 10:30. And Family Guy follows that at 11 o'clock. And at midnight, you have Tuca and Birdie at midnight. At 12:30, Robot Chicken. At 1 a.m., Aqua Teen Hunger Force. 1:30 Family Guy. 2:30 Bob's Burgers. 3:30 Tuca and Birdie. 4 a.m. is the Jellies. 4:30 is the Venture Brothers. 5 a.m. is Naruto Shippuden, and if you're still awake at 5:30, you have Samurai Jack. Okay, and now I have your releases for August the 3rd also. El Hazard, The Magnificent World, OVA 1 and 2 Collection. Fire Force Season 2 Part 1. And this is a combo set also. Mayu? Mail you? Archemy and Hero. Arch Enemy. Good grief. Arch Enemy and Hero. And those are your releases for August the 3rd. And like I said, if you're not subscribed, why not do that now? And I will see you guys in the next video.